Okay, y'all, welcome back for part two of the discussions regarding an American marriage. So, please, if you have not already, subscribe, like, click, share, comment. This video, previous videos, future videos, I would really like to have you take part in this and let's just have an open discussion. So, the book for discussion is An American Marriage. And the first part that I'm going to be talking about, which I mentioned in the last video, are public proposals. I mean, every day we see it where proposals are just getting more and more extravagant. I mean, much more extravagant, much more pricey. And I'm like, whoa, you guys spent a lot of money on just the proposal part. You haven't even paid for your wedding. You haven't gotten prepared for your actual marriage. So it's just like, okay, wow. So for me, I personally do not like the public proposals. I'm a much more quiet, calm person. And then I say that because you know it's going to be somebody out there saying, oh, because you never got a proposal. Yes, I actually have, and it was cute. My family was all included in on it, and so were my close friends, and it was very pretty. I'm not going to like act like it wasn't. There was a video that was made, and then the video was played with all the family around. So very nice. But the same me from then is the same me today is that I overall would have also appreciated just, a quiet over breakfast or out to lunch, out to dinner kind of thing. My idea is and always has been that there are two people in a marriage, and the same two people who are getting into are the two people who have to sustain that marriage, and they are the two people who it should go wrong. I mean, it's you too. So, involving everyone else, well, can be cute and all that. It's just really just entirely too much. And what brought that to my head was on page 72 of the book. Celestial's father talks about how Roy came and asked him for her hand in marriage. And his first thing was, that's not my hand to give. I can't give my daughter away. So I'm not sure how I felt about that. I know in this whole feminism movement, people are, yuck, I'm my own person. You can't give me away. I didn't belong to you. I'm not your property. But I think I disagree with that part. I think, hey, to each person, be you. If you don't want to be given away like property, by all means, just walk down the aisle, because once again, it is just going to be you and that person at the end of the day. What I appreciate about the walking down of the aisle and giving away of the daughter is that it's saying, I had to protect this girl from her birth. I was given away when I wasn't married. So it was, I've loved her, I've protected her, I've sheltered her, I've instilled values in her, I've allowed her to branch out in the world on her own, but now she's going into a different household, and I expect for you to care for my daughter the same way I cared for her. Different, but essentially in the same way. I'm okay with that. So what do you all think? I know a lot of people are like, no, like, you need to ask for someone, like, you don't have to ask someone for my hand in marriage. It's my hand. Ask me, do I want you? Don't get permission, because they can't say yes if I say no. So I completely understand it. I'm not quite at that point yet, but I completely understand it. But I just find that funny. So that's his first thing that he says. The next thing he talks about is the proposal itself. He said, I laid myself low. I did not involve her father, and I didn't ask her best friend to help me make the scene right. This is the father, Celestial's father, talking about when he proposed to her mother. I took her hand, telling her the truth of my soul. She answered with a nod. Marriage is between two people. There is no studio audience. And let me say this, that right there just summed up my whole little feelings. It's two people. The proposals that involved these flash dances and everything else, I'm like, calm down, back it up, rewind. It's not necessary. Like, and now even prom proposals are a thing. Like, why you need a marching band to ask a girl to the prom? Like, you still gotta go buy your tux. Like, stop it. Stop it. Make sure you got your dorm fees to pay for, okay? Like, it's cute. Don't get me wrong. Like there's an element of, oh my God, like, that's so cute. That's so cute. But honestly, y'all, it's just doing way too much, in my opinion. And I actually remember when one of my mentors said, when my proposal happened, one of my mentors said, ooh, we took a big chance, didn't he? Because knowing you, we don't know what your reaction gonna be. And that's another thing, is that when you propose to someone like that, I feel, not I, but people, well, actually, I guess I do feel that people may feel forced into saying yes, because it's sort of like, maybe that's not what they wanted. Maybe you haven't listened closely, paid much attention to the fact that they don't want that. Or maybe they do, and in which case, by all means, do you. But you almost force a yes, or you give yourself the embarrassment of a lifetime. Like, maybe I want to say no. Maybe it was just the two of us. I want to say, you know what, we aren't ready for all that yet. But as I, look around, if you paid photographers and, my family and friends have taken time out their schedule, or you've gotten the marching bands, and I mean, we've seen all. I mean, literally at this point, we have just seen ridiculous amounts of things for proposals. And it's sort of like, ugh, like, I don't want to embarrass you in front of 500 people, plus the million people are going to be watched on social media. So let me go on and say yes. And then I feel like some people don't know when to say no then. Like, now you're just like in this ball, and you're like, well, it's just going, and you feel like, oh, I'm just forced into it. So I don't know, like, for that reason, like, allow the discussion to happen. Like, allow it to be, here's my heart laid bare to you. Here's why I want to be married to you. Allow that person to say, here is why I want to say yes. Or here's why I want to say no. Or here's why I want to say not yet. I think that some of those options are taken away when they are done in this big scene. So I would just say, keep in mind that there are two people in a marriage. So if you're out there and your partner proposed to you, like maybe at the kitchen table or out to eat or on a picnic bench, or be appreciative of that person said, hey, I don't need the fanfare. I don't need people saying, oh, you did it. Like, I don't need all that. All I needed was to ask you, and I needed to hear your response, and the hope was a yes. You may have girlfriends or friends who can give you all these beautiful stories, and or you see this big production. Don't let that take away from the intimacy of your moment. In my mind, it may actually potentially, I don't know, I don't know statistics about this, I don't know, but my thought would be maybe it'll actually make your marriage better. It kind of sets the stage, that you all are going to have a very intimate, close, quiet marriage, as opposed to a production of a marriage. So that was just like one of the first discussions that came out of this book as I was reading that I wanted to hit on. So yeah, stay tuned for part 2, where we talk about consent and rape within marriage, which was also something that came up in this book. So once again, please like, click, subscribe, and share. I'm excited to be doing more of the discussion aspects of the books, as a book allows that to happen. So until next time, see you in part 2.